Well, Darren, they've got a pretty much a very heavily watered down agreement on what was proposed just a week ago by the European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen. What the Commission wanted to do was to get all countries to commit to a mandatory 15% reduction of their natural gas consumption in order to try and fill up the storage facilities to prevent what they call as Moscow's blackmail, as in Moscow being able to turn off the taps at any time that they want. If the storage facilities are full, then the EU has enough power itself. Now, what the energy ministers have agreed to do today is voluntary. They will try through whatever means they see nationally to reduce the gas consumption by 15%. And there are a raft of exemptions and derogations. For instance, for island nations like Ireland, Malta and Cyprus, who are not linked in or interconnected with other gas systems around the European Union. They're islands, so they have their own gas capacity. They pretty much don't have to be involved in this plan. Also, countries that fill up their gas storage facilities, that they overshoot targets, they won't have to be involved anymore. And frankly, this is all because the reality is that this plan was to protect the big countries in the European Union. 50% of gas consumption in the EU is by the three biggest economies, France, Italy, and specifically Germany, which has seen the Nord Stream 1 pipeline, which brings Russian gas into Germany. The Russians are reducing that down to 20% of capacity. So that's a big issue for Europe, for the EU's biggest economy.
Talking about gas rationing here, we're literally talking about people having to turn down their heating, factories having to limit what they can do. I mean, this is going to have proper real-world consequences.
Yeah, and this is the real complication, Darren. And, you've done your time reporting on Brussels. You know how difficult this stuff can be for the EU. And that's really where this fudge has come about. A lot of countries, for instance, have much more, gas consumption in industry. So for them, they have to focus on trying to get businesses to reduce gas consumption. Other countries, their gas consumption is much more domestic. So essentially what they would have to do is to tell their citizens to limit their household consumption, so turn off your heating or limit it to a certain temperature. And you know full well that that is not something that national governments in the European Union are going to want to do. Spain and Portugal came out vociferously against this. They don't want to tell their citizens to reduce their heating, to turn their heating down, because Germany needs to save their gas. And that's really where we've seen the divisions. Also, there's a massive division with Hungary. This didn't need unanimous approval, which is why it got through. Hungary, we know, voted against it. The Hungarian foreign minister just last week was in Moscow asking Russia for more natural gas. So while the European Union is coming out and saying, listen, this is all solidarity, we're all on the same page, we're going to reduce our gas, we're going to get gas from other places like liquefied natural gas from North Africa, etc. They're saying it's full of solidarity, but really this is a bit of a ropey net that they've cast with this energy ministers meeting, which was an emergency one that they called specifically on this proposal that the European Commission put forward last week.